Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to CJ Market Watch Live, and I think today we are kind of bullish, right? It's finally a day that we can finally say or conclude that there is some volume coming in, there's some action, right? But it's more important to understand what are the reasons why it's pumping or why the charts are moving. At the same time, we need to look at the charts and see where we will be heading next. All right. So today is a Wednesday, the Wednesday CJ Market Watch, and let's go. Alright, so right now we're looking at the market cap, and we are hovering at about 131 billion. I think it's I wouldn't say it's a healthy one. We have to really cross above 150 bill for it to be really considered healthy. Volume wise, we are kind of on the high side, which is good. I think anything considered above 15 billion to me is a good 24 hours volume, and we are now at 18 billion. Bitcoin dominance wise, we're at 53.4%. I think this is a very common average that we have been seeing for quite a while. It's usually about 53.4, 53.3, and so on and so forth. We'll just hover around that range. But I think as of now, people are still holding on to BTC, okay, and kind of still believing in it. But I think what's important is we need to kind of understand the rest of what's happening with regards to all the altcoins, right? So we do see Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. Now Ripple has already confirmed its position as the second placing above Ethereum. We are about 4 billion above Ethereum, okay, market cap. So it's kind of interesting in the sense that Ethereum really lost its second position. As of now, Bitcoin Cash is ranked at 4th. We kind of went down by about negative 1.78%. Bitcoin SV on the other hand is down 27.42% after the enormous run-up just yesterday. So the rest of the tokens are doing pretty okay. Most of the altcoins have recovered. Tether is still going up by 0.78%, which is super strange. But the rest of the tokens are also recovering. Most of the altcoins are also in green, so I think that's the good sign. So of course, stable tokens like True US dollars, USDC, they are kind of going down slightly. Paxos as well, so it's a very natural progression. Zilliqa actually went up by 25%. I think a lot of different groups are talking about Zilliqa as well. Okay, so this is with regards to the market cap. Okay, very straightforward, very simple. But let's go to the news, right? So today's title is called Past Problems, Current Issues, and Future Contracts. So the three main news that we're going to cover today will be these three, covering the past, current, and future. So the first thing I want to talk about quickly is Tether. Now, one of the reasons why I want to cover this Tether shit is because number one, Tether is under lawsuit or under investigation by Justice Department of the US. And also because it was rumored that last year during the bull run, it was because of Tether's Tether's movement. Sudden huge movement and creation of Tether that actually pumped the market volume in a very incoherent way, right? And that's why Bitcoin went up to 19,000, 220,000, and so on and so forth. And it's currently under investigation. But the interesting point is a few days ago, Tether reopens account verification and direct redemption of fiat from its platform. So you can see that there is this Tether grew at an unpredictable rate, and therefore they actually increase or kind of just reopen their account verification, and you can do it directly on their platform now. All right, so they're opening doors once again, and accounts will have new minimal issuance and redemption requirement equal to 100,000 US dollars or Tether in that sense. So we do see Tether is still working on it, and even though a lot of rumors are saying Tether is bullshit and whatever not, but most of the exchanges are still kind of using Tether as a base currency in that sense. They are still trading it. Now that brings me to the second news, okay, which is Binance, right? So I know that currently Huobi, okay, which is they have created. Okay, let me just show you guys. Okay, for you guys who don't know, okay, so I'm gonna trace back this particular article, and I'm gonna pull out some stats as well from Coinbase. Okay, just talk about something. So currently, most of the exchanges are using Tether, right? They have listed HUSD, they have listed USDC, they have listed some listed GUSD, which is Gemini. Some have also listed Paxos against Tether pairing and many different pairings, right? But the interesting thing is Huobi actually opened up a deposit for new stablecoin called HUSD, whereas all stablecoins can be converted into HUSD and it will be stable, right? So you can see that specifically Huobi will accept and store Paxos, True US dollar, USDC, and Gemini dollars. Now this article was back in 19 October, so they are kind of the first mover, alright? And right now, today on the 28th of November, Binance kind of launched this. Okay? In fact, yesterday, 27th November, crypto exchange giant Binance creates combined stablecoin market as well. So is that kind of just similar? All right. So USDT will now be listed on Binance as USD, as Binance decided to use Unicode symbol for and circle S to denote a stablecoin. So they have renamed the USDT to be now combined as stablecoin market. This is support more trading pairing. So more stablecoins acting as a base pair. So understanding this now, in terms of forex or just in terms of crypto exchanges, you need a base pair, all right? And the base pair actually means that whichever of the major exchanges are supporting your base pair or your base currency, which is example Tether, it actually means better business for you. So imagine, let's say now Binance creates say a HUS dollar or like a GUS dollar, USDC as a base pair. That will actually introduce even more traffic or volume to it, right? So the mechanics of stablecoin is simple enough. I don't think I need to clarify more. Likely more stablecoins on the way. So Binance say that they're looking forward. They likely expect to have more stablecoins, and primarily the euro and a few Asian currencies. So they're introducing more stablecoins, okay, into Binance as well. So I think. See, the introduction of stablecoins only happened last month, right? When the whole issue of Tether implosion happened, and then more stablecoins got introduced suddenly into the system. And then currently, the market gets battered, and then we went down straight so much. And now Binance, Huobi, different major exchanges are creating this stablecoins idea of creating even more stablecoins, right? So the true question is, what exactly is stable, right? Are these coins even stable on their own? It's still really questionable, right? And exactly which stable coins are stable, backed by real banks, backed by companies? Some are, some are not. We don't know, all right? So we're gonna let the major exchanges still be running as thing. They have a lot of autonomy to decide what they want to do with us per se as retail traders, right? So this is just some of the current news, okay? Now, the future news is there's three news that I want to talk about for the futures. All right, for the futures and for the future. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce says that crypto products are possible in US market. So we also see that US also kind of have said that one of the state in US would accept crypto in terms of taxation payment, right? So in fact, she kind of just mentioned that there's a greater institutionalization of Bitcoin market, and therefore they are kind of open to it in that sense. Okay, so in fact, we also have interested party from Vencheck, CBOE, and SolidX, right, which is partly of the ETF side as well. So I mean, it's a good news, I would say, all right. But coming from her, it's definitely a good news. But let's just see what's going to happen, all right. So SEC are also investigating into a lot of ICOs. I think this is it's a crypto cleansing kind of thing. You're just cleansing out all the different kind of projects that shouldn't exist, all right. So this cleansing will just drain off all the different kind of projects. Okay, next, I think this is one of the main reasons for the pump, guys, and it happened last night here in Singapore. It was mentioned that so Nasdaq is actually plans to pursue Bitcoin's future despite plunging prices. So as you guys all know, right, Nasdaq is one of the second largest exchange, financial market exchange in the world, right? So of course the first one will be kind of New York Stock Exchange, and then followed by Nasdaq. And so understanding that that they're pursuing Bitcoin's futures after the footsteps of CBOE and CME is a big move. The other thing that I think is quite significant that a lot of people should realize is that Nasdaq is also the index that actually contains a lot of different tech stocks. So a lot of different tech stocks all around the world, especially in the US market, are listed on Nasdaq, all right, as compared to S&P. There are some also listed on S&P, no doubt, but most of them are listed on Nasdaq. So it's much like a tech indices index or a tech exchange is supporting and creating a Bitcoin's future, and I think that should be how we need to interpret it. And despite plunging prices, okay, so I think this particular news kind of moved the market slightly. As we all know, been waiting for the ETF launch from SEC. BUC is delayed to January, and now you have Nasdaq coming in. So it's a lot of hype, right? And a lot of people are thinking, okay, the next bull run should be led by the institutions, okay, and that's what all of us are believing, and that's the picture that we painted for ourselves as well. But truly, some players, big players in this space, did say that, you know, Galaxy Digital CEO say big shift in Q1 2019 will drive the next crypto bull run. So in an interview, former Goldman Sachs partners Mike Novogratz say that the cryptocurrency market will flip next year. Well, it's hard to say, but I mean, we have been believing in that dream that, you know, bulls will return. But this whole entire 2018 has been a bearish season for cryptocurrency market. So it says that, like, the launch of crypto platform Buck, run by the operator NYSE Fidelity, having recently created a new digital platform themselves, and so point of prices shifting in positive direction in the coming months. So this is kind of like a chicken and egg issue, guys. Think about it this way. Like I said before about the hash war, still underlyingly, as long as the hash war is still ongoing, as long as the Bitcoin miners are still kind of focusing on mining Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin market won't recover largely, okay, or in a huge, enormous way. One of the reasons why is because institutional traders and investors are very careful by nature, I would believe so, and they'll be sitting on the sideline looking and laughing at this market. Why? Because a small Bitcoin Cash fork, which is ranked number 4, could impact the market so much. It's just like saying, example in Nasdaq, like example maybe Apple stocks on Nasdaq, and, you know, Apple stock, which is maybe ranked number 4, got, you know, heavily impaired. It got affected quite badly, and it affects the whole entire market of Nasdaq. That is what they are interpreting as cryptocurrency market. That's like the coin market cap being useless. Why? Because one thing has a fork and it affects the whole entire market. So it needs to come, even though we've bought, you know, with Nasdaq futures upcoming, with all the ETFs maybe launching, we don't know when. But it also requires for the market to mature. It also requires stability in the market, where people stop bickering, and there's less Bitcoin improvement protocol, there's less improvement protocol going on, less fork going on, less conflict happening within the market itself. And when the market, or when cryptocurrency market truly evolves and truly mature, then the institutional funds can come in. Then they can safely say that, hey, you know, now we have another form of asset class. Whether or not it's classified as a security, we're not sure yet, right? Whether is it classified into any other kind of asset like commodity or real estate, we have no idea. But the question is, where are we going to be shifting towards? Okay, and so this kind of, in order for us to move on greatly, this hash war has to end. Miners have to go back to mining Bitcoin and supporting the network, and all mining power and hash rate starts, or slightly a small amount of hash rate or mining power has to start shifting towards mining Bitcoin. Then we can kind of conclude that maybe the bears are over. Combining and in conjunction with all the institution eyes looking into the market, then maybe we'll see some huge volume coming in. So my question is about sustainability here. If the charts and market starts moving, can we sustain the price? Is the volume enough to sustain the price? But if the fundamental news and sentiment of the market is still bad, then there's no way that the market will recover largely or in a big way. So guys, don't keep your hopes up. We need to monitor the hash rate and the hash war as well, okay? So the last thing that I just want to quickly mention is also about the hash war. So I've been analyzing it this morning very quickly. So I'm just going to cover it for you guys. Okay, so switch to Bitcoin Cash. So very simply, it's currently 53 times or 54 times more expensive to transact on Bitcoin network. It's 8.9% more profitable to mine on Bitcoin Cash. The one I want to drive your attention to is that the hourly Bitcoin Cash hash rate has been dipping. All right, and I think this is kind of like a good news in that sense, because it only kind of shows that perhaps the mining power has started shifting towards mining Bitcoin instead. In fact, when you look at the Bitcoin Cash network hash rate by mining pool, it's also kind of on a dip as well. So the hash wall pushed it all the way up. So BCH ABC wants to have a swift and decisive victory over BCH SV CAM, and you have that happening. In conjunction, if you realize that when BTC starts moving, the BCH SV CAM basically suffers a bit. What I'm trying to say is that it kind of have an inverse correlation, okay, a relationship that's inversely proportional. You can see that when Bitcoin starts moving, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV is going down. My personal point of view is that it's hash rate shifting as well, okay, and miners shifting towards mining Bitcoin, and therefore SV gets affected. Yesterday, when Bitcoin SV was going on a high, all right, 50% up or whatever, Bitcoin's price was kind of suppressed, if you think about it. But when the mining power starts shifting over, we see a huge discrepancy. And in fact, when you look at this chart, you kind of realize that this is on an hourly basis. The whole hash rate from Bitcoin Cash just shifted and it just dipped. And if you can compare the 7 days of mining pool with today's mining pool, what you realize is that Bitcoin.com has reduced the proportion to about half, to 11.81%. Mpool has kind of increased slightly by 1%. So you can kind of see that via BTC increased slightly, BTC.com dropped. So what I can kind of just conclude simply from this chart, of course I don't know their mining power, but just in terms of percentage, we can see that BTC or Bitcoin.com has shifted less towards mining BCH ABC or BCH and started shifting towards mining Bitcoin instead. So this is kind of like a good news, all right? Why? Because they're giving less power to BCH ABC and start to mine and support the network of BTC, and that's a good news for all of us. Okay, so hopefully this sustains and hopefully the hash war ends soon. If not, the whole entire market will tank again. So coming last of all to the charts, all right? So if you realize we're giving less and less significance to the chart, because TA in such a season where sentiment is entirely bad, it's not going to have a huge impact. But still, it's something that we should cover, all right? So what we are seeing here is this. Now, we have seen a double bottom formation, and I posted this chart actually yesterday in a Discord group. So in our legacy and elite group. So we can see a support testing at about this range at 3470 to about 3550. So we see a double bottom. A lot of people could conclude in a different way. You can say it's not, you can say it is, whatever. But nowadays TA patterns has not much impact to the market, to be honest. So we're looking at 1 hour chart. We do see a double bottom. Now we're seeing a double top pattern in that sense, and with this curve here we do see a cup forming as well, so and it reaches nicely at the top of the cup. So the next most likely movement will be a handle, all right? So the handle may just go down, and it's very hard to conclude this, but basing on double top formation plus a cup and handle, the next movement will most likely be heading down. And if it's a cup and handle formation, then we may see some recovery on the upside, because a cup and handle, it's a positive, it's a kind of like a bullish statement. But if it's a double top and it plays out, okay, then we might see it heading downwards once again. Where will we be heading? It's impossible to tell. You can, if you're good at Elliott wave, if you're good at different kind of drawings, you could draw and extend whatever you want to. But it's really hard to just predict movement, because Bitcoin market is heavily driven by sentiment and fundamentals. So whatever news that I just mentioned, especially the SEC side and the Nasdaq side, was one of the fundamental reasons why BTC started pumping. But ultimately, we have to break and close in this range, and we have to look at both 4 hours and daily. So on the RSI side, we see an overbought current situation, and therefore there's a slight dip from this particular candle. So the next few candles will be crucial to see what are the patterns in terms of candle formation. So we will need to look at the next 3 to 4 candles. All right. Now on the 4 hours chart, same thing. I think I just did the drawing, but so it basically replicates. So we kind of need to see where is it going next. But the good news is, I guess, is that on RSI we are slightly above 50 for 4 hours. So that kind of confirms that we are slightly on a good trend. But in any case, it may just dip as well. All right. But of course, surpassing it is a good sign. You can see that ever since 8th of November, ever since we dropped below the midline, we have never recovered. But I guess today is kind of like finally the first day in that sense that kind of surpassed that level. Whether or not volume is sustainable, that is my next question. And unfortunately, like I say, if the hash war is still ongoing, volume will not be organic. It will be very, very slow. Daily wise, nothing much I can talk about. We're still heavily on an oversold level, so for it to really pump significantly, we need volume, and the volume can only come from institutions. A lot of different kind of speculators, projects, and retail traders, right? Panic sellers, whatever you name it, kind of left the market. Most of them just gonna either hodl it or they have left the market. So I think Ryan did a video, Should I Quit Crypto? It kind of just shows you and showcase to you that what all kinds of people are thinking about, and it's the question of which kind of category do you fall into. Right? Are you a trader? Are you an investor? Are you just giving up, or are you just panic selling? So it all depends on which range or which category you belong to. But what I would say is this: for me, as of now, when we are monitoring the market, you need to be trading on confirmation trades. Try not to trade on breakout trades. Trade on confirmation trade. It's okay to miss 1 or 2 candles, but it's okay to make sure that the trend is your friend. Meaning to say, if you were to miss 1 candle, it's still okay to long from here. In that sense, why the trend is up, right? Because it's a confirmation. Okay, so trade on confirmation, it'll be easier for you to be able to sustain that long and short patterns. All right. Okay, so yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'll catch you guys on Friday, and a little bit of apology here that we have to start slightly earlier for CG Market Watch today, because all of us have a meeting later at 3 p.m. And we're gonna run for the meeting now. But I'll see you guys on Friday, and thank you for tuning in to CG Market Watch Live. See you in the next episode.